Right now is that time of year when 99% of people start winding down. They are already mentally on vacation, eating leftover holiday food in their heads and promising themselves that their new life will start on January 1st. That is a trap. And that is the exact reason why the majority will stay at the precise same financial level next year too. While everyone else is sleeping, you have the opportunity to steal a march on them. If you use these last few weeks of the year wisely, you will enter January with an advantage that your competitors simply won't be able to catch up to. I'm Mike. I'm a former investment banker, and I've seen how capital with 9 zeros is managed. And do you know what distinguishes the rich from the poor? Not luck. Systems. Every December, I conduct a rigid procedure I call the financial reset. And in this video, I'm going to give you the exact step-by-step algorithm of how I do it. We are going to break down everything, from the hidden leaks killing your budget to the tax loopholes they don't teach you in school. And make sure you stick around for point number 6. That is where I talk about the money operating system. This is what allowed me to spend less than 15 minutes a month managing my finances while constantly getting richer. Let's start with the base. The first thing I do every December without exception is my financial year-end review. You all know Spotify Wrapped. At the end of the year, they show you beautiful stats. How many hours you listened to your favorite band, which song you played until your ears bled. It's fun. Now, imagine doing the same thing with your money. Sounds a lot less fun, right? Probably terrifying. But this is exactly where your growth is buried. You need to create an instant snapshot of your financial reality. You shouldn't be sitting there trying to remember what you spent money on or where your budget went. It all needs to be recorded. Numbers don't lie, unlike our memory. Make the process enjoyable. Pour yourself a coffee, a whiskey, a hot cocoa, whatever you like. Sit in a comfortable chair. Open your banking app. We need to answer just 3 questions. What was my net income for the year? Everything coming in. Salary, bonuses, cashback, junk you sold on eBay. What was my total expense number? What is my result, surplus or deficit? A surplus is when you earned more than you spent. A deficit, well, you get it, you're in trouble. But here is where I do something different. This is a banker's trick that very few people apply to personal finance. Listen closely. When people calculate expenses, they separate investments and savings. They say, I spent $2,000 and I saved $500. I do it differently. For my annual report, I list my investments in the expenses column. Why? Because if I count investments as expenses, then my final surplus at the end of the year is truly free money. This is money I didn't eat, didn't spend on rent, and didn't even invest. This is my untapped potential. If I see that I have an extra $1,000 left over after all my investments, that is a signal. It means that next year I can painlessly increase my autopay to my brokerage account by $80 a month. I won't even notice the difference in my quality of life, but my capital will start growing faster. This exercise helps you spot patterns. Maybe you blow your budget in winter out of boredom, or in the summer on friends' weddings. Find that leak. Awareness of the problem is already 50% of the solution. Point number 2, the annual audit. According to Deloitte research, the average household pays for 4 streaming services. That's hundreds of dollars a year just to occasionally watch a movie. And I am willing to bet anything. If you look at your transactions right now, you will find a subscription you forgot about, a meditation app you opened once in January, a gym you don't go to, a free trial that quietly became paid. These are financial vampires. They are quietly sucking your blood, your money, while you sleep. Your task? Go through the list and ruthlessly cancel everything you aren't using. But that's small change. Let's talk about real money. Insurance, internet, mobile plans. The 1-year rule applies here. Companies bank on your laziness. They call it the loyalty tax. They know you won't switch, so they quietly raise your rate every year. Spend 10 minutes. Go to a comparison site, check the prices. One call to your provider with the words, I am leaving for a competitor because they are cheaper, usually works miracles. They will offer you a discount on the spot. 10 minutes of conversation can save you $200 or $300 in a year. Show me another job where you get paid $300 for 10 minutes. Point number 3. Before building a skyscraper, check the foundation. I'm talking about your emergency fund. Do you have enough cover for 3 to 6 months of expenses? If you had it at the start of the year, did you dip into it? And here is a crucial point many forget. Inflation. If you saved up $10,000 3 years ago and feel safe, I have bad news. Today, those $10,000 buy significantly fewer goods and services. Plus, your life might have changed. Did you get a dog? Have a kid? Lease a car? Your monthly expenses went up, which means your cushion needs to grow too. Check this. Next, the balance between cash and investments. You cannot sit on a mountain of cash. Inflation eats its purchasing power every single day. But you also can't invest every penny into stocks. If the market crashes tomorrow and you urgently need cash, you'll have to sell assets at a loss. That is an investor's nightmare. Here is a hack, the rule of thumb. Anything above your emergency fund that you won't need in the next 5 years must be put to work. Money should be making money, not gathering dust. Point 4, and this is probably the most pleasant point. Before the year ends, you need to make sure you have taken all the free money left on the table. You'd be surprised how many people walk past thousands of dollars just because they are too lazy to figure it out. 1. Employer money. If your company offers a pension match or stock options, use this to the max. If you put in $1 and your employer adds another one, that is 100% instant return. No hedge fund in the world can give you that guarantee. Refusing this is the same as refusing part of your salary. It's stupid. 2. Tax deductions. In most countries, the financial year ends on December 31st, US, Europe, etc. You have tax breaks that burn out if you don't use them. Medical expenses, education, charity, collect the receipts, file the return. If you are an investor, use tax loss harvesting. This is a legal way to lower your tax bill. If your portfolio has stocks that have dropped in price and you no longer believe in their growth, it makes sense to sell them before the year ends to realize the loss. This loss can be offset against the profit from successful trades, which reduces your total tax. This is a legal way to pay fewer taxes. The government is your silent partner in business who takes a share of the profits. Your job is to legally minimize that share. Point 5. Setting goals for the next 12 months. Forget about all that fluff like vision boards and abstract desires like, I want to be rich. That doesn't work. Only math and reverse engineering work. You need a specific number. Example, I want to save $12,000 by next December. Great, divide by 12. That's $1,000 a month. Look at the budget. Can you pull $1,000 out of your salary? If not, you have 2 paths. Either cut expenses or, even better, increase income. But now you don't have a dream, you have a task. Create a simple model. Projected income for the year. How much will I invest? Subtract this amount immediately. The rest for living. Give every dollar you earn next year an assignment before it even hits your bank account. If money has no goal, it will find a way to disappear. Believe my experience. Let me explain what this looks like technically so you can sit down and do it right now. Take a simple spreadsheet. In the first column, write your expected income by month, salary, potential bonuses, side hustles. If your income fluctuates, write the minimum, don't lie to yourself. In the second column, write your goal, that same $1,000 a month. These are untouchable funds. And only in the third column will you see what is left for rent, food, and entertainment. Where is the magic here? The magic is that you are making decisions in advance. If you don't do this now, in December, then throughout the year you will be making financial decisions on the fly, based on emotions, fatigue, or marketing tricks. And that is a guaranteed failure. When you have a plan, you switch from reaction mode, oops, ran out of money, to management mode. And listen, this plan isn't a prison, it's a map. If you get a raise in June, great, you just change the number in the first column and you hit your goal faster. If an emergency happens and you have to spend, you adjust the plan, but you still see where you are going. Setting up this table takes 20 minutes, But these 20 minutes will give you something money can't buy: total control and peace of mind for the next 365 days. You will stop guessing and hoping. You will know. And here we are at the finale. Point 6. The reason we gathered here. Everything we discussed before this, analysis, audit, goals, is cool. But it won't work if you rely only on willpower. Willpower is a battery. By the evening, it dies. When you are tired, hungry, or stressed, you make bad financial decisions. You need a money operating system. You need to automate the right decisions so they happen without your participation. How do you do this? Build a pipeline. On the day your salary hits, set up auto payments, investments, and savings. Money leaves for your brokerage account automatically. This is the principle of pay yourself first. You don't invest what is left after spending. You spend what is left after investing. Fixed expenses, rent, utilities, internet, all on autopilot. Use the principle of friction. Our brain is lazy. Make it so that spending money is hard and saving is easy. Delete your card details from your browser and shopping apps. To buy another piece of junk, you'll have to get up, find your wallet, type in the numbers. This friction will save you thousands of dollars. Conversely, make checking your investment portfolio easy. Put a widget on your screen. Seeing progress is the best dopamine. Your system doesn't have to be perfect from day one. Start with one automation today. Tomorrow, add a second one. The goal isn't to think about money 24/7. The goal is to set up the system once and let it work for you in the background while you live your best life. Friends, you don't need to wait for the ball to drop. You don't need to wait for Monday. Right now, while everyone else is finishing off the leftovers and watching TV shows, take this evening for yourself. Go through these 6 points. Create your money wrapped. Kill the excess subscriptions. Set up autopay. This will take you a couple of hours, but these couple of hours will pay off huge over the next 12 months. You will enter the new year with clarity, calmness, and a plan. And that is the most expensive asset. If this video was useful, you know what to do with the like button. Share this with a friend who also needs to get their affairs in order. I'll see you in the next video.